I am selling half of my car fleet by the end of this year. A couple different reasons, lots of different reasons came to this conclusion in my mind. Here I have a list, a pros and cons list. Well, let me backtrack. Let me pull up my other list. Down. Good boy. Here I have a list of every vehicle that I currently own. There's 19 vehicles on this list. Let's run through what I own. NSX number 1, or just the NA1 NSX. NSX number 2, which is my wife's NSX. I guess you could say we both own these cars. If you want to be technical about it, whatever. We are married, we own these cars, you could say. So NSX number 2, that is the second gen, the NC1 NSX. Evo 10 number 1, which is my personal Evo 10. Evo 10 number 2, which is my wife's Evo 10. Evo 8, yellow. Evo 4, which is silver, needs a new motor. New STI that I just bought that made 1,000 horsepower. Lamborghini Huracan, all-wheel drive Type R. My wife's Daily, which is a Type R as well. My new truck, which is a Duramax. The BMW M3. Mark IV Supra. 06 Hawkeye WRX, you guys probably forgot about. And 1, 2, 3, not 4, but 5 cars that I own, that I've bought and owned over the last few years, that I've never gotten the chance to show you guys or reveal on the channel. That equates to 19 vehicles. Now I did a quick calculation and just looking around in the shop, I can comfortably fit 10 cars in the shop. So that made my mind decide that I want to own 10 cars. Currently I have, I think 8 cars in here, 9 cars in here. I have cars on a piece of land that I own that are just sitting out in the middle of a field. I have cars that are just scattered throughout what feels like the northwest part of the United States. So that is the current situation with vehicles. I got pretty stressed out recently, as I always do. My way of working is a little bit different. I tend to not take much time off while I'm here working, meaning I don't take weekends off usually. I'll work for an undefined amount of time until I cannot function anymore properly, and then me and the wife will leave for a week or something. Kristen, you are noisy. Calm down. That's what happened recently. You guys probably noticed that I was gone. We were in Hawaii living out of a van for a week, and it was great. But the reason I did that, and we did that, thankfully my wife is very supportive. Anytime I need to leave, she's like, all right, let's head out. I got pretty fed up with everything going on at work, which is here, and decided to leave. With moving everything, so we moved house, moved one of the businesses, which is called Northwest Print Shop. It's a screen printing apparel. If you guys need high quality apparel made, hit up Northwest Print Shop. That shop got moved, and then this shop also got moved. So we did that for a while, and then I started getting back to work on cars and didn't even know what I was doing, so I decided to leave. But anyways, here I have a pros and cons list of why I have 19 cars. The cons list is much longer than the pros list. The pros list has one thing on it. It's the one thing I think is the reason why I keep buying cars. Maybe it's an addiction, I don't really know. On the pros list, I have one thing, and that one thing is content ... meaning I think that's the reason I keep buying cars. Piston, calm down. Now on the cons list, I have a lot more things. Number 1 on the cons list is stress of maintenance. If you guys ever noticed, I feel like all my cars are always dirty. I'm a one-man dude. I don't have a team of people. I've never really desired to just have multiple people here helping me. It's never been a thought of mine. Well, I thought about it for sure, but I've never decided to go down that path for a lot of different reasons, which I won't get into today. Maybe it's the better move, I don't really know. But as of right now, I love and enjoy just being the one-man dude who does everything on the cars. Films everything, edits everything, builds the cars, maintains the cars, does all the financial burdens on the cars, things like that. So the first thing on the list is stress of maintenance. I'm trying to maintain 19 vehicles. Well, I guess not all of them need maintenance. If you look over there, if you guys can see, there's a few cars under covers that you can't really tell what they are. One is blown up, so it needs a motor. That doesn't need maintenance. The other one is totaled, so that doesn't need maintenance. But I would say 14 or 15 cars all the time are needing maintenance, and it's very easy to forget. Recently, we put a motor in my wife's Evo 10, and after about 50 miles on a brand new motor, you want to flush the oil out, change it. Probably went 200 or 300 miles on that oil, stuff like that. So stress of maintenance is one huge thing for me. I want to be able to be more clear-minded when I'm building these cars and trying to maintain them. I feel like if I cut that in half, that would be a pretty solid starting point to having a good, to enjoying the cars more, I guess you could say. Also, when you have 19 cars, 90% of them never get driven, but you still need to maintain them. Keep them on battery tenders, change oil here and there, worry about your tires going flat. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Anyways, next is insurance and registration costs. You have to register your car every year. Costs a lot of money. Insurance. Could you pull off insurance on cars that you don't drive? Yeah, I've gone down that path in the past where I can call my insurance company. I have multiple different insurance companies for different levels of cars. For example, classic cars, NSX and Supra, old stuff like that that are worth a lot of money. You can't really just insure those through, for example, Allstate, which is who insures like Evos and whatnot. So I used to have it to where if I wanted to drive a car, I would call Allstate, for example, and say, hey, I'm going to take out the Evo 10 for a week, insure it for a week. When I'm done driving it, put it back on storage mode, and you save some money that way. That didn't really work because a lot of times I would just decide that I'm only going to drive it 10 minutes down the road to the coffee stand or something and not even worry about putting insurance back on it. Now, thankfully, this never happened to where that turned into a bad situation. Imagine driving the M3 and I hit somebody, or somebody hits me and it's on storage mode. That would be a bad situation. So I decided, after talking to my insurance agent, let's go away from that. They came out with this new thing called MileWise. That's where the cars are always insured all the time, and I'm only paying on insurance per mile. There is a storage cost. I think it's $1 per day or something. And then I think it's 20 cents, on average 20 cents a mile for each mile you drive. That works a lot better, but still insuring all the cars all the time, especially when you're starting to get exotics like the Huracan and the freaking NSX, man. Those are a lot to insure. The new NSX is much more to insure than anything else I own, which is ridiculous. I feel like the Huracan should be more. Reason number 3 on the cons list, no time for the new ones, meaning that those 5 cars I listed out earlier, I didn't list out, but I told you guys I own over the last few years and have never showed you. That's what I mean. No time for the new cars that I've bought that I really want to build, but I don't have time for them. Now, life earlier on in the channel, or when I was younger, building the cars, they never got extensive. It was always, let's put on a front lip, put on some headlights, maybe a little bit bigger of a turbo, things like that. Now, you have stuff like the Evo 8, which is a 10-month process for a full restoration. Stuff like the NSX, where that's going to be probably a year-long project. What else have I done that's big? The all-wheel drive Type R, one of one, the only one that I know of that's all-wheel drive. That took a lot of time. So the projects now just take like a year on average to build. So I guess if you really wanted to get technical, if I have 19 cars, that means I have 19 years of consistent work forever if I never took a day off. That's kind of how I look at that. Last thing, no time to clean. I guess this kind of goes along with the first one. No time to clean and maintain. Same concept as the first thing. I really wish I could drive clean cars, but I can't because I feel like I never have time to clean them. I don't know why I put that on there. That should be erased. But as we were in Hawaii, sleeping out of a van and then a Jeep, which was great, by the way. If you ever go on a tropical vacation and you don't want to spend a bunch of money on a hotel, get a Sprinter van that's all decked out for sleeping in, or a Jeep, or like a truck with a tent on the back. They're a lot of fun. While we were there, I decided I need to get rid of a lot of stuff. Honestly, my first thought was I am going to sell every single car I own and start from scratch. But after thinking about it, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get rid of, for example, the staples. I don't want to get rid of the Evo 8, which I put a ton of time and effort into. The all-wheel drive Type R, I don't really want to get rid of that at all. Like not 1% of me wants to get rid of that car. Stuff like the NSX project that's currently going on, why would I get rid of that? So I decided, let's dump half of the cars over the next year and see where that leaves us. I think I'm going to be in a really, really good position then. Mentally, that's the main thing I'm trying to fix right now is my mind, so I can focus more on just getting this stuff done and enjoying it more. I've always heard the quote, and I'll probably misquote it, I don't know the exact quote, but the gist of it is never make your passion your career. And obviously that's what I did, and a lot of people do with social media nowadays is you're always filming what you're passionate about, and then slowly but surely you start making money. If you stick with it long enough, you're going to start making a lot of money, and you start buying everything in the world, and then it just becomes a full-time job, and it's really hard to enjoy. Because as of right now, this is my passion, and it is my career, and I don't have any other passions. It's all I do. It's all I do is sit in the shop and work all day. Half the fleet's leaving. Now I don't know exactly which ones we're gonna get rid of yet. Some of them will be giveaway cars. Some I will just sell outright. And the cool thing about cars is I can always, if I say I sell the E92 M3 and I regret it, I can always buy another one. And being that I feel like I'm much better at working on cars now versus 4 years ago when I built the M3, I could do a better job with the parts I pick out and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So I could always rebuild cars if I get rid of something and I regret it. The first car that's leaving is sad. The first car that's leaving is the OG Evo 10. It is my white Evo 10. I have owned this car for 7 years. We decided that we're gonna take both Evo 10s, my wife's car and my car. They're pretty much the identical build. And whatever car got driven less in the last 6 months, we're gonna get rid of. Let me pull up my other paper. The white car in the last 6 months, you might think this is crazy, but this is factual because MileWise tracks every mile you drive. The white car in the last 6 months was driven 44.7 miles. The black Evo 10 was driven 282.9 miles in the last 6 months, which also is not that many, but 44.7 is diabolical. That's like, I probably drove the car in and out of the shop 44.7 times, and that's where the 44.7 miles came from. Now that is a bit sad. That is the first Evo I've ever owned, and I really, really do enjoy that car, but looking at it objectively, Bobby's car, we've truly put a lot of effort into with built motor, built trans, full PPG paint job of black pearl, and obviously we drive it more. So that's how we came to this conclusion. Let's not have two of the same exact cars for starters and get rid of one. So the giveaway for the white Evo 10 is live right now. First link down below. One of you guys is gonna be taking that thing home. And I'm pretty sure that that car is going to be half wrapped again like it was back in the day. That's what all you guys liked. That's what all you guys loved. I do polls on Instagram whether, say for example, whether or not we should keep it all white, painted like it is, or bring back the half wrap. I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna pick the half wrap. It's gonna go to a smaller turbo, and it'll be turned down to like 600 wheel, because 840 wheel horsepower Evo 10 is a lot of power. 600 is still a lot, but it's more daily drivable than 840. I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time. I feel like I've just never been clear-minded enough to articulate my mind. So I know this is probably gonna make a lot of people sad. And I guess the reason I'm making this video, not that I feel obligated to share with you guys. In a way I kind of do, but I more so wanted to let you guys know, because I know a lot of you guys are probably in the same position that I used to be in, and a lot of you guys might be in the same position that I am in. I always thought at a young age, the more you can acquire, the better. Now, growing up, the one thing that I hated that my parents did, but I'm so grateful for now, and I hope they're watching this video so they know how stoked I am about this. From a very young age, man, from as far back as I can remember, they made me buy my own stuff. I'm pretty sure I started paying rent at the house when I was like 16 years old. Maybe it was 18, I don't really know. I know it was only a few $100, but even well before that, say when I was 12, 13 years old trying to buy dirt bikes, I can't remember a time that my dad ever bought me a dirt bike. And obviously that transformed into what it is today. Learning that lesson from a young age, that if you want something, you gotta go out and work really hard and buy it. That mindset just never left me. And it's a great mindset to have, but I had that mindset ingrained in me so much that after all the social media stuff started taking off and the businesses started taking off and money started coming in, I kept just buying stuff. Now, they are great cars. They're awesome cars, but don't think that owning 20 cars should be your goal. 40 cars should be your goal. If I didn't put a stop to this now, in 10 years from now, I'd probably own 100 cars, and I'd just be one lonely dude chilling in a shop, in a 50,000 square foot shop with car lifts everywhere with 100 cars in there, trying to figure out how to work on a car. You guys get the point. I don't think the goal should be owning a lot of cars. I think the goal, if you're into cars, should be owning fewer cars that are really, really high quality builds. Stuff like the Evo 8, for example. In my opinion, that's probably, it's not the nicest Evo 8 in the world, but it's a fully restored Evo 8. It's a really, really nice Evo 8. The NSX, that's gonna be one of the coolest, in my opinion, one of the coolest NSXs in the world. That's more so down the path that I wanna be, instead of having 7 Evos. Yeah, I'll get the point. Let's go look at the Evo 10 that is going to one of you guys. All right, here's my Evo 10, the car that has been driven 44.7 miles in the last 6 months. This is the one. My dad checked this thing out for me in Seattle. I then flew out and drove it home. First Evo I have ever owned, man, and since then I probably owned 15 Evos. It'll be changed up a little bit, much smaller turbo. That's a 6870. We're gonna go down to probably a 6466, which is what that car runs. I think it's the perfect turbo for like a daily Evo 10 or Evo in general. And like I said, I think that half wrap is gonna remake an appearance on this car. It is up to you guys, so go on the Instagram and vote. But as of right now, you can get entered in to win this car. First link down below. The giveaway is only going for like 10 days, 10 or 11 days. And then at the end of it, we will be going live on Instagram to pick the winner for the Evo 10, and it's going home to one of you guys. I love you guys. I just want to be transparent with you guys as to why I'm making this decision. I feel like I was pretty clear. Yeah, I feel like my life's going to be a whole lot more enjoyable building these cars with half of them. Half the cars, half the stress. Am I right? That's going to be a wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.